Hey, everybody, welcome to For the Love of Guns. This is the podcast about the people, the products, and the priorities of the firearms culture. Today, we're doing this live. It's something we don't do often on the podcast, but I figured it would be kind of fun to do this one live, especially when we're going to talk about being a content creator, 2A content creator, and, kind of the things that kind of sucks being a 2A content creator. But anyways, before we get into it, I got to talk about a couple of companies that help me bring you content. And the first one is Ammo Squared. Man, I love my account over at Ammo Squared because they're thinking of ammo differently. They're thinking of it as an investment, not, as just buying ammo. I mean, you're investing in copper jacketed lead. And it's really cool just looking at it that way. It has changed my whole purchase of the way I think of ammo. Go to www.trb.fyi/A2 and you could have $20 of free ammo. Now, the other organization is Ammo. I just talked about Ammo Square. This is what's fun about doing them live. The other organization is Falco Holsters. Man, I really love Falco Holsters. I love them because of the quality. They are handmade leather and Kydex holsters that are just phenomenal, and they don't break the bank. Over at Falco, they can make a holster for any gun, every budget, without sacrificing quality. Go to www.trb.fyi/Falco and use the checkout code Banshee, and you'll save a little bit of money. So now, with everything done, let's bring some people in. I'm going to bring in Chris from the 740. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. When you texted me yesterday and said we're going to do a live and we're going to do a bunch of complaining about YouTube, I'm like, I like this. This is going to be a fun show.
It's going to be a fun show, and I sent that invite to a lot of people, so we have no idea who's going to show up later. But we do have someone that probably not a lot of people in my audience and probably your audience has ever met, and we have Nate, your favorite libertarian, on. So I ran into Nate. What was it? It was earlier this week, and just a couple of days ago. And we got on the phone talking. I was like, this is freaking awesome. I love this guy. I love it. I love the work he's doing there. Nate, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed. I love that, man. That is awesome. And we're going to talk about things that stress us out today. Right. Like Chris kind of alluded, look, YouTube is a little rough right now for 2A content creators. I mean, it always was a little tough, but they just don't like certain things anymore. I mean, they were tolerating it before, but now they're just flat out going, yeah, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. A lot of us knew this stuff was coming, but it doesn't mean that we got to be happy about it. And it's not just YouTube. I mean, it's Instagram, it's Facebook. I was starting to work on Amazon, doing videos for Amazon. And man, did I get smacked down on some videos of Amazon. And it was all because over this shoulder here, sorry for everybody on the audio side later, because there was 2 AR uppers hanging there. I was not showing a gun, but because those things were hanging, there was a firearm in there, and they said, no way. I'm like, wow. But so guys, I know we're all 2A content creators here. We love playing with guns and going out shooting guns, do reviews of products. Man, Chris, what's like the biggest thing that you're seeing right now with being a 2A content creator?
So the biggest thing for me that's been hectic here lately. So we had the new set of rules come down here, about 8 weeks ago, I guess it was, when they, you were starting to see a lot of the big channels, the multi-million subscriber channels, were finally feeling what we've kind of been going through as smaller channels for quite a while. What I've noticed that's been so frustrating for me was I haven't really been given any hassle as far as channel strikes or warnings or anything like that. But what I've noticed is my average subscriber count was 350 to 400 new subscribers per month. And that has pretty much been going on ever since SHOT Show this year. When the new set of rules came down, I noticed every time I would upload a video, I wasn't even having to ask for a manual review. It was just turning green right away. I'm like, that to me was strange because I always got to ask for a manual review. So even though they're green lighting all my videos, the problem is a video say that I was getting 500 views on like within a few days to a week's time. Now it's down to a couple hundred views.
Yeah.
So my monthly views now, where they used to be anywhere from like 85 to 90,000 views per month, I'm down around 70, 75 now. And my subscriber count has gone from 350 to 400 new subs a month down to about 180 to 220 is the average now. So, and it's frustrating because, you know, we spend a ton of money on these channels. And, you know, that's a big thing with YouTube. And I don't think a lot of people understand is we spend a lot more money on making the videos than what we get back. And now this is starting to cut into a little bit, at least of some of the return I was getting on my channel. So it's been a really frustrating last 8 weeks here with this.
Yeah.
I've kind of noticed the same thing with my channel as far as the subscriber count as it's climbing. Before SHOT Show, I want to say it started happening. It seemed like slightly after SHOT Show where it just started dropping. And like from like I'm a much smaller channel probably than both of you. I know for sure Banshee is a lot bigger than me. I'm guessing you probably are too. I think I just found you on YouTube, which is also crazy. You guys both are like pretty high in the subscribership, and I haven't seen you on YouTube yet. It's like we're even hidden from each other.
Yeah.
It's like we're shadow banned in our own community up amongst each other. But I noticed from like 3,000 to 4,000 subs was really quick. Like that climbed really quickly. And then once I got to 4,000, it was like I hit a wall, and all of a sudden it's like I'm still trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, and I'm not doing anything differently. Like the videos aren't any worse. I don't know if they're any better, but they're not any worse than they were, you know, the ones that are coming out. So yeah, I'm just like, well, that's kind of strange. And I've also noticed that even when I'm doing manual review for videos, there's still nothing. I'm like looking, there's nothing that's violating any policies, any written policies, but I'm still getting the review back saying, hey, these still remain limited or no ads eligible, even though I'm not violating any policies. So I think for me, the most annoying thing is there's all these unwritten YouTube policies around the gun community and what we can show and what we can say and what we can do that are just ethereal, and you might somehow figure it out if you guess enough, but there's nothing written down that says you can or cannot do these things. So we don't even know what rules we need to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because, you know, for me, it was a little different. This year was a little different. About a year ago, my channel just took off. It just skyrocketed. I'm like, what? Yeah, I wasn't complaining, but I'm like, what did I do? You know, did I just magically, you know, post something? And it wasn't just any one video. It was, you know, I was seeing it across the board. I was like, cool. So when I got to 25,000 subscribers in like December, like right before SHOT Show. And I hit a wall. Like right then I hit a wall. It's like somebody pulled the plug. I was getting about 1,500 subscribers a month. My watch time was about it was about 125 was about a 125. Now it's I think I looked at the other day. I think I'm at 65 now. I mean, it's like somebody just pulled the plug, and it's just all of a sudden there. And I'm with like Chris is I put my content out there, and it was going green. and usually I'd have to do a review, but they're just not pushing that content. And what's funny is, I'm seeing the videos where I've got lots of views, and you could see it climbing with the channel. And then that day I hit the magic button. Even those videos that were getting lots of views, lots of watch time hours, just dropped. So it's frustrating. Like Chris was saying, we put a lot of time and money into these things. And because of that watch time hours has gone down, it affected the ad revenue definitely in YouTube. But going right after shot, I had new channel sponsors that were lining up, but then all of a sudden everything just dropped off, and there was that money that just kind of walked right out the door. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't invest in me either with what just happened.
Yeah, I noticed too. I noticed with a lot of the goals videos that went up, the interviews, it's just, this is kind of the stupid things you got to deal with, is like, now you're not allowed to say the website. So like when you're interviewing the company and you say, where can people find you? Well, let's say Aero Precision. I'm just going to throw a name out there. Well, you have to blurt out the .com.
By the way, guys, I totally expected that this video is going to get demonetized on the platform. So don't worry about mentioning web pages. Basically, as long as we don't get the plug pulled while we're live. If we do, everybody, if for some reason YouTube does pull the plug, we are streaming live on Rumble too.
But where I was going with that was they're blurting it out, but everybody knows what they're saying. It's that kind of stuff right there. It drives you nuts.
Yeah, the verbal gymnastics you have to play to get someone to funnel people to a place that you want them to go, so that you can help support the people that are supporting you. It's nuts. It's like, I'm a libertarian, so First Amendment is a big thing. Obviously, Second Amendment's a big thing. I'm sick and tired of just being like, okay, so definitely don't go to this place, what, and doing all this. It's like, it's just people who don't know that there's all these stupid rules. They're like, why is this guy talking like a weirdo? Like, what is wrong with this? Why can't he just say to go to the place? Like, what is he trying to say?
Yeah, no, it's tough. So this started going on for me. Even I started seeing some funny things a year ago, over a year ago. I had Strike Industries on. I interviewed Strike Industries. Well, Strike Industries is one major buzzword for YouTube, and I think it's because of the Strike 80. We didn't talk about the Strike 80. We didn't talk about anything like that. We talked about handguards. We talked about all this stuff. So this is before all these, enforcement of these magic rules. And so it was green, and then it went yellow. So for everybody in the audience, what we're talking about in green and yellow is, in YouTube, you'll get green means it's fully monetized. Yellow means it's partially monetized, like Chris was saying earlier, which basically means you're not going to earn any ad revenue on it. So this thing was green, and then it went yellow. And it was green on the upload. It was sitting on the channel, just waiting to go live for like a week and a half, and it was green. The second I hit go live, yellow. And I'm like, all right. So I did my appeal. It took 4 days for the appeal to go through. They turned it green. All right, well, I lost all the revenue because you get all that revenue right when you launch. I mean, it's not long term. You get the most amount of revenue when it launches.
Yeah.
Unless it's evergreen content, and that's a whole new subject. So what they would do to me I'm like, cool, it's green. 2 weeks later, it's yellow again. I'm like, whoa, wait. You guys manually reviewed this and said it was okay. So I had to open up a ticket. So I go, hey, look, this was manually reviewed and it was okay. 3 days later, It's green again. Cool. You want to guess what happened a week later? It was yellow. So it's like this has already been manually reviewed. They kept on doing this. Meanwhile, all the other podcasts with every other company that I had going on was fine. Yeah, but Night Strike's out there going. So Night Strike Night Strike may have just got the comment of no, I put the wrong one up there. Revenue, what's that?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you brought that up too, because Dead Air had released the Lazarus 6 at Goals. Yep. Now they talked about it at SHOT Show and they had the prototype, but they were actually releasing it at Goals to go live for people could order it. So it was a fun interview too, because I did it with Angry Sarge out in the side chat. We did the interview together.
Nice.
And we did the interview with Dead Air. I went back to the Airbnb. I got the video edited real quick because I wanted to get the first video out if I could. I knew it would do really well on views.
Yeah.
So I got it edited, got it uploaded. It went green. I made it for channel members only, just to wait it out till it went green. Well, they green lighted it right away. And as soon as I published it, they kicked it down to yellow. Yeah. And they waited till it hit about 500 views, and then they green lighted it again. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's brutal, dude. And yeah, by the way, Nate knows Sarge.
Yeah.
So, and Sarge is out there. He's out in the chat. He brought up, he goes, great video. Wanted to upload it too. And Sarge is working while he's listening to us chat. Let's see here. What's CNT? I would love to see the difference on how non-political gun channels get treated versus how gun channels do. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I think we kind of know the thing. Well, I mean, what's funny is so YouTube policies are they're odd, and that's being nice. Whereas like you have there's other niches out there. Like they had a whole thing where a woman can't show her nipple. Okay, I get that, but now they can if they're breastfeeding, right? So what's the first thing that some of these influencers did? They grabbed a baby doll, took their top off, and then was breastfeeding a baby doll to show their nipples. And it's like, but that's okay. But God help us if we like teach someone how to be safe with an inanimate object. CNT Designs goes, or nude yoga. I haven't seen nude yoga on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that my wife's going to question that Google search tonight.
One of the things that is frustrating to me is that there's all these really weird and mostly ambiguous or unwritten rules for 2A content creators, but then it doesn't apply to any of the other verticals or industries on YouTube. So like fitness is like one of the other things I'm into. I could say Rep Fitness's website. I can talk about all the workout equipment. I can say, visit this site to find this workout equipment. Here's the exact link. I can put it in the comment section. I can put it in the description. I can tell you, I can word for word say what the URL is, and that's completely fine. But the second it's talking about a gun company's website or accessory, like plastic parts accessories, then it's not allowed, which isn't breaking any actual laws. So why is it not allowed when all these other things in these other types of videos for other industries are completely fine?
Yeah. Now, Mary Wills, I haven't seen Mary Wills ever in the chat. Not that because mostly I don't have a lot of lives, but Mary asks, other than 2A channels, any other content being stifled anything that you all can think of off the top of your mind. I'm there. I don't even know how to say it, but I mean there are other niches out there that will get hit, but that's mostly like, I love the thing. So you any YouTuber out there knows when you upload for monetization, you got to classify it, and you have like, was it violence, right? So violence is fine unless it is a stream of a game. So I can go out and Call of Duty and show gore, or I can go out and like do Gears of War. Gears of War can, you get the blood splatter and all that stuff.
Yeah, like chainsaw attachments.
Yeah, chainsaw. Yeah, I can go out there and chainsaw something. But yeah, if I go to the gun range, yeah, and shoot a dummy with it has blood in it, that would be. But yeah, Mary, there are some other niches out there. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of them, but
I know one that's related, kind of, but it's all the knife stuff. So like one of my buddies is big into knives, and just like he's a blacksmith too, so he makes his own knives and stuff. And he's noticed even in that like they can't show certain things. There are all these weird rules just related to knives, because YouTube's a global company, UK is banning knives, so now you can't show knives I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff where he can't like show himself like.
And that's with knives. It's funny because if you think about knives, there's a lot of rules and laws of knives. God help you if you have a switchblade and show it on YouTube. This is not, and the thing is that there's a difference between an OTF or out the front and a switchblade. Not much, but there's difference.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the difference. They don't care.
Yeah. They're legal in my state. So can I show out the front knife? Can I show an auto knife? Because in my state it's legal, even though it's not legal in other states. Is that okay? Is YouTube sophisticated enough? Do the bots know enough that it's legal where I am?
They don't care. That's the thing, is they don't care. They like to say that as long as it's legal in California, because that's where they're headquartered, that's the rule. That's the laws that they like to follow. But even then, I could show something that's California legal and still have it taken down because they don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. You could have the little fin on your handguard for your AR.
Yeah.
Well, that nonsense. Sorry if either you guys live in California or anybody in the stream. My condolences.
Sorry, I'm catching up in all the comments here. Night Strike with his leftist dollars. Yeah. When anything called what? Yeah. So CNT was talking about when we were talking about anything that's being suppressed. And he goes, yes, anything right wing. Let's see here. And job outs. Yeah, because Night Strike is in the tech field. Night Strike and I have talked a lot. I agree with you, Night Strike. It's tough in the tech field. But so, anyways, we've talked about the monetization side. How else is it affecting? I mean, we talked about view counts. Now, understand for the audience, when we talk about view counts, it's how many there's two different metrics. It's watch time hours versus watches. Like if somebody watches your video, you get a watch, but if they only watch 30 seconds, you only get 30 seconds. So the algorithm doesn't like it when someone goes in, watches 30 seconds and then drops. So they'll suppress it. But the thing is like Nate, like you were talking about earlier, you're in the same niche as us, and you don't even see our content. I mean, later on,
and it's probably not from lack of you guys marketing and being on all sorts of platforms. I just found out about you when you messaged me on Discord, and I was like, oh, hey, I do this. And I looked you up. I'm like, you have like I won't say this won't age well because the subscriber counts will change, but he has considerably more subscribers than I do, and I've never heard of him, which is nuts.
Well, and that was the thing is when I sent you the message at Discord. So I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. By the way, you're not done seeing Nate on the channel. This is kind of a pop in on tonight. There is an event that's going to happen next week that you guys will see in the future, namely called recording a podcast. So, but like that's what I said to you, Nate. I go, I sent that message to you. I go, hey, do you want to mix audiences and record a podcast? Because really, that's what it's kind of about. Because if you're not seeing me, your audience is not seeing me. Yeah. If I'm not seeing you, my audience isn't seeing you, and we're in the same niche. I mean, we have different angles of it. I mean, the same thing with Chris. I've been on Chris's show. Chris has been on my show. I mean, that's where it's great, where we start helping each other out with stuff like this. Where we bring
have mutual friends and we didn't know each other.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Yeah, you got. I mean, Sarge. I know Sarge, and Caleb. Caleb too. And it's just like we had no idea. It's like we didn't even know each other existed.
Internet's a big place.
It is,
I guess.
So, yeah. Chris, is this? I mean, I know you have sponsors for stuff that you're doing. How are you dealing with sponsors with now view counts dropping and the suppression? I mean, does it change your talk with companies?
Well, yeah, we did a show on this the other night because there was I was one of the smallest channel. I was the smallest channel on the panel. And we were talking about, there are certain sponsorships where there's money exchanging hands. Now with me, I have never actually been paid by a company. A company will send me free stuff to review on the channel. But where I kind of cover my butt on, I don't know if I will ever ask for money indirectly from a sponsor. Like, yeah, hey, I'll do this review, but I need you to pay me X amount of dollars. Where I normally make my revenue all comes from affiliate links. Yep. That is one thing that I am pretty good at is selling product. So I tend to work with companies. I do a lot of work with Monstrum because Monstrum is one of my affiliates. So I can, as when the emails are coming in, they got new products dropping or whatever, then I can get that stuff up on my website, which that's a whole other thing. But we probably shouldn't get into too much of our secrets of how we how we go around getting around some of these rules. But that's where I make my money. So from what I'm understanding, like with me, I always do like a pop-up. So like if I'm doing a review on an AR-15 and I'm running a certain optic on there that is one of my affiliates, I'll just have a little pop-up banner pop up on the screen, Monstrum Tactical. And from what I understand as of right now, that's okay because they are not paying me to do the review.
For now.
Right.
See, CNT Design says, Chris, it's because you're honest and tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously want to have revenue coming back into the channel. And I guess the way that I feel good doing it is by doing the affiliate links. Yeah. So,
but even posting affiliate links can get a video pulled down.
Exactly. So
that's the hard part.
But there's workarounds to that where you have to beat the AI. So you got to get somebody to go to one page and then go to another page.
Yeah, it's the whole you can't go directly to them. And if anybody's trying to figure out what I'm talking about, if you go back to the introduction where I talk about the two companies that helped me bring you content, look at the web pages that I told you to go to. So
Yeah.
it's my webpage.
Yeah, I have my own website. Chris, I'm sure you have some type of place that hosts links, but yeah, I started hearing from some of my affiliates. They're like, hey, don't use what was it called? Linktree, because Linktree is starting to crack down. They're like, oh,
yeah,
you
I just had that up.
Links, don't put them on Linktree because they'll shut you down.
Yeah,
So
see,
I ended up having to have my own website
that.
just so I could host the links and the discount codes and all that stuff. So it would be an indirect link, because if you direct link, that's not something YouTube likes. But if it's a link to other links, then it's different.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon on that's what we got to do for the affiliate links. But no, Linktree,
so
Linktree
has
picked a few people.
Yeah, Linktree's. I know of at least 20 of my friends on YouTube that got axed from Linktree. So I use an out of country one. I use it's called Solo. Never had an issue with it. It works just like Linktree, but they don't care what I put on there for sale. So
yeah, for me, I just changed because I used to do Linktree, and then when people started getting axed on the Linktree, I'm like, I got to get away from this. So I stood up my own, because I have my own hosting for my website. I just stood up another website for my links. Now I have that. Yeah, there you go.
We own it all, so we won't shut ourselves down.
Yeah, we won't shut ourselves down. Now, right now, I have it back ended. I came off of that, and I have another place that doesn't seem to care right now. But the thing is, I still have you going to the link that I want you to, that I control that domain for where so I can send it other places if I need to. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you think about it, Linktree has been axing people. We have the big thing is Patreon, right? If you want to support us, go to Patreon. Well, Patreon started axing. And Patreon's they started axing discount codes long time ago, right? You can't push discount codes and things like that. But then they started taking people out of, Patreon in general, just killing their accounts because of gun content. So it is, I had a talk. Gosh, I forget when it was. It was with Diana Muller last year. It was probably almost a year ago, where I talked about it. I have this concept. I call it the trifecta of social gun control. It's control the message, control the money, and control the movement. Control the message. That was what we're talking about. Control the money. We're kind of hinting at that. Then they start doing the tracking of the Visa and MasterCard codes, right? And then control the movement. Then, FedEx won't let you ship a gun anymore. UPS makes you do like gymnastics before you do it. It gets tough. So we're kind of seeing that whole trifecta happening. Now they're clamping down on that message a little bit harder right now.
Yeah, I think there was some type of legal debate on YouTube itself being a publisher or being a hosting company. And depending on what they are, depends on whether or not that they can edit or suppress or censor content. So there's a lot of like First Amendment and Second Amendment, specifically for our cases, that could be legal arguments if they're considered one or the other. And I think right now their lawyers are playing a lot of games, but there's more and more stuff coming out, more and more regulations, more and more restrictions as to what we can say, what we can do, what we can show, that it's getting to the point where I think there might be some court cases coming soon against YouTube. Because if you look at the monopoly that they have on just video and content in general, the vast majority of people are going to YouTube to view content, like anything that's like, oh, I just want like a how-to video, or I just want a video on this. They're going to YouTube, and that's usually the place that they're going. So there could be, and I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I don't know if you guys know, I'm not. It's not legal, right? But
you did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
yeah, I did play one on TV. But I could see there potentially be some like hearings about the stuff that they're doing to content creators for the 2A space, partially because we're singled out. Like it's not something that's happening to any of the other niches. I mean, not these specific guidelines. It's not happening in other niches.
So I'm going to put something out there in the chat. So Nightstrike, who's out in the chat, he has. I just found this out. He sent me a text that he has a Linktree service that he does. I'm going to put it out here to a web.com/linker. Hopefully I didn't misspell that somewhere. I'm going to bring it up for those of you who are on the Rumble side that you can't see the chats. So, Nightstrike has 2A web hosting. That's his company, 2A web hosting. He has this thing called Linker out there, which definitely going to have to check that out. I did not know that he was doing something like that, which, I should, because it's not like he's an idiot and he's got his head screwed on straight. So, if I he says that's it. If I insult him a few, maybe I can get him to abandon. Yes, it's his birthday today. Abandon his birthday and show up. But anyways, I was hoping he'd show up, and then I'd get everybody that was on the panel to sing happy birthday to him. So now that I let that out, he's probably never going to join.
I've got a lot of practice with that song, so I could sing it really well.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing is they've controlled a lot of stuff around what we do. It's not just a YouTube thing. It's Instagram's a whole new beast of its own. At least Instagram is semi, they at least kind of let you know that you've been shadow banned by them, right? The happy birthdays for certain roll through in the chat. I mean, it's kind of you dig into your account far enough. It's like your account is not being seen by anybody other than a follower. Like, I mean, how many of those have you seen out there? I know it's on my account.
Well, there's the age restriction stuff that's come up now. That's, I think, not the most latest. The latest is all of the stuff with any sponsorships or talking about companies you work with or going to this place or discount codes. But before that, the latest thing was the age restriction stuff. So it makes it so, one, you're in the category of a bunch of other stuff that's like, why am I even in this category? Is these other things. But if it's 18 or older, you also have to log into your account to see that content to prove you're of whatever age, etc. And that is there's a huge pool of people that are watching videos that aren't logged in. So you're losing out on all those views because it's age restricted.
Well, and the other thing is you're not only that is you're losing where people have linked to the content, right? So if you're age restricted, like on my webpage, you can see all my videos. Well, they started age restricting some of my content. And so all of a sudden, when you go to my webpage and you go to see that video, you get the whole, you get the eyeball because you're not signed in. So you can't see the video. And so you would have to click on it, go to YouTube, sign in, and all that stuff where, and let me just redirect that link to somewhere else. So now that all of my embedded content on the webpage is just being served up from another platform, which doesn't help with watch time hours for me, right? Because, I still get, visitors to my webpage that are going there and, okay, great. That's fine. And then, the age restricted stuff is a little bit deeper than just watching on YouTube. It's you can't have it anywhere else.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. I don't host my videos on other sites. So that's, I mean, other than like the other video hosting platforms like Rumble, I'm on Rumble too, but like, that's a whole nother thing. A lot of people say, well, if you're so sick of YouTube, like, why don't you just go to another place? It's like, all right, well, people ask me all the time, it's like, well, why don't you go to Rumble? It's like, well, I'm on Rumble, which should tell you why that's not a viable option to just be on Rumble, because you didn't even know I existed on Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get really tired of hearing that, because every video that for the last, up till January, our videos automatically went to Rumble. And then they axed that over. YouTube said, nope, no more of that. We're not doing that. I upload every video that goes on YouTube, gets put up on Rumble. I also do like Rumble exclusive content. So like if I'm showing you a new part that's going to be going on a gun, I can't show you how to put it on YouTube.
Oh.
I can on Rumble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
there's,
because I know what you're talking about, Chris, because that's a lot of my content is, how to work on guns. And there are some videos I have where it's like, I have, I use Final Cut Pro for my editing. I have to copy my project. I'll do the entire video, then I'll copy my project, and then I will record me standing right here going, unfortunately, because of YouTube policies, I can't show you this next step. Right. And I have to put that into the video. It's like, if you'd like to see this, you can go to my webpage. Right. And then I have to put that into the stuff in order to cut the video for YouTube. But if you go to my webpage or to my Rumble channel, you'll see the whole content. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's frustrating when you're hearing that from people all the time. Well, why don't you just go to Rumble? I'm there. I'm there. Everything that I'm putting up here is over there also. And there's a lot of cooler videos over on Rumble that I can't show you on YouTube. So,
yeah.
And the problem is, like, I probably average 3 new subscribers a week on Rumble. And that's
Also
like
views.
minute compared to what I'm doing on YouTube.
Yeah, the views are drastically different too on Rumble. Like if I have like a more popular video that has had like maybe lifetime views on YouTube, 55,000, on Rumble I'll have like 500.
Yeah.
So like that's the other thing. And like Rumble to this date, like I monetize on YouTube. I'm technically monetized on Rumble, but I've never gotten a cent from Rumble. So I'm not even sure how all that monetization at Rumble works, but it doesn't work for me, whatever it is.
I forget who it was. I commented on their Instagram post. They were talking about Rumble. They're another gun content creator, and they earned 2 cents, right? They're like so happy that they earned like 2 cents. And I go, and my response, I commented like, you're Rumble rich. Because
that is Rumble rich. Yeah. I didn't make it 2 cents yet.
I looked out there the other day. I think I have like $3.
Yeah.
And what's funny is there's content out there that, let's just say, was taken down by YouTube in a letter that was written. Everybody in the audience that knows me understands what I'm talking about. But there's a video out there, and it's like there's no traction. But there's nowhere else you can go to see this content other than Freedom Crew University. There's my shameless plug for my side project. I know CNT Design earlier in the chat was asking about it right here. How's the stuff Freedom Crew University going? It's going. I got lots of ideas, but no time to actually record them. But for everybody that doesn't know what Freedom Crew University is, that's where, if you ever watched the movie Stripes, where Bill Murray gives his speech, he is, we're Americans with a capital A. And what that means is that our forefathers were kicked out of every decent country there ever was. Well, basically, we're the content creators that was kicked off of every decent platform there was because we dared to show you how to build a gun. So Freedom Crew, we got some stuff out there. But yeah, I mean, you've got to, it's tough. You got to go to these other platforms, and the views are just not there because, I like to say, like, during the whole kneeling thing for the NFL, everybody got so pissed off. I'm done with the NFL. I'm never watching football again. I'm like, bull. You're going to come back and you're going to watch this because, well, let's just face it. You're kind of weak minded. We just know how that is. You're outraged. You'll get over the outrage and you'll go right back to doing the same thing. YouTube's the same thing. People get so mad. I can't believe that they're taking this content down. I'm going to go watch Rumble. They might do it for like a month and they're right back to YouTube. They just don't stick to it.
I know creators too get frustrated over on Rumble because it's not as streamlined as YouTube. But one of the things we have to look at, we need to give them a reason to make the platform better too. And that's by getting more and more people to go over there. It's definitely not perfect, and it has its frustrating moments over there too. But I think if we can get more and more people to go over there, it'll give them a little incentive to make it better. I don't know, maybe. Anything's worth a shot right now.
Yeah. Well, C&T Designs has let everybody know that he is a Rumble millionaire.
He's rich.
He's got $6.04 out there.
I just checked mine. I've got $4.57.
You should start going on Instagram and direct messaging all the content creators and saying, "Hey, I can help you improve your business. I can help you reach a bigger audience."
What's funny? Every time I put a video up on Rumble, I get a comment. It's like, "Hey, I'm so-and-so, and you contact me at, whatever." And it's like at yahoo.com and I can build an audience. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you can.
My comment that I always get on Rumble is someone who said, like, I had stage 4 cancer and so-and-so helped me click on his website to see this doctor. It's always that scammy comment, but I keep getting it. And Rumble apparently doesn't know how to stop that from happening. So every time I have a post a video, I get that comment, I have to report it.
Yeah, every video I upload, the very first comment, it's a bot of some sort.
Yep. That's another thing.
We got to get that under control.
There's other things, but yeah, this is a tangent about Rumble now for some reason. I don't know how it got here, but it's probably my fault.
No, it's fine. It's all good. I mean, that's the way we roll in this podcast. We just kind of do things. While we were doing this, Chris followed me on Rumble and I followed him back. But yeah, I'm looking at Rumble and my estimated earnings is $2.43. Woo!
Nice.
Can't even buy a cup of coffee with that.
Now you're just showing off.
I know, man. I gotta flex it where I can, man. I gotta make myself look bigger than I am.
If you had $2 in a time machine, you would have a lot of money.
Right. Well, only if it was an actual, metal coins.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think there's also a misconception that being a YouTuber, having a YouTube channel, and having ad revenue, like any form of ad revenue, means that we make a lot of money. The ad revenue is barely anything at all. It's not enough to pay for the videos we make. At least at my level where I'm at. You guys can chime in as well, but it's not paying for the video. I'm net negative on every video I make. I do it because I love it and I want to share the information with everybody, but it's not a business that you should get into if you're looking to make money.
No, it's not. What's so funny is, I know walking around SHOT and talking to companies, and they're like, well, you got to be making a lot of money on YouTube. It's like, I'll tell you what, let me log into my analytics and I'll show you right now how much money I make. And their jaw about drops. And it's not because it's a big number. But you're right. I mean, I lose on every video. It's just the way that I put more into it, but it's kind of a passion, right? I mean, just like you were saying, I mean, I started the channel off technically 7 years ago in October on Mischief Night. in October. Technically, the channel is 7 years old. It's just not 7 years old from when I did the first video. But I was in FFL back then, and I was doing Cerakote work, and it's like, okay, I'm sick of watching YouTube videos that suck, right? That do disassembly and reassembly. And that was the whole basis of why I started my channel. Was like, I can do this better. It's great, but when you can't actually do it now, that's the hard thing. It's like, what do you do? You got to pivot. I look at but people are just like, you got to be making a lot of money. Like, no. Why do you think I'm asking you for a product?
Well, yeah, and historically, it was like kind of across YouTube, and then this affected the gun community as well, like the 2A content creator community. It was like, I'll put a number. This wasn't the actual number, but let's say you got like $1 per let's say the amount of subscribers equated to like you got $1 per video that you put out. It went down to like 50 cents. So like when Demolition Ranch, he was just starting out, he was doing shotgun videos, and he was like putting stuff in the things that go in there, and putting different things in there. Those like got completely erased. And around that time, or maybe slightly after, it went from where you were making like $1 per let's say $1 per view is not that, but we'll say you're making $1 per view, and then you started making 50 cents per view. So the people that were bigger channels that were able to actually like, that's an income, and they could have that they could be full-time or whatever. They basically had to change the way they did everything, because now it's like, okay, I don't make enough per video now to have this be the only thing I'm doing. And then they started doing stuff with companies where they're getting sponsorships and getting paid to do videos and all this other stuff. Now they're starting to go after being able to even do that. And then they're also started demonetizing a bunch of stuff that wasn't demonetized before. And it was retroactive too. So a lot of times there'd be like with the brace stuff, or like putting a suppressor on or taking it off, or a mag, a certain amount of capacity. If you had videos way like, let's say 10 years ago when it was perfectly fine to make, then they're like, hey, since you made this 10 years ago, we're now saying it's not allowed, we're either taking it down or deleting your channel, so there's like all this retroactive stuff that happened too. So it's just been little by little, and I'd say more than little by little, but throughout the course of, I'd say 10 years, it's gone from, wow, this is awesome, being able to have a YouTube channel as a gun guy, to, okay, now I'm making half of what I was making, to, okay, now I'm not making really anything in ad revenue, and now I have to do other income streams like sponsorships. Oh, now I can't do sponsorships anymore.
Yeah.
They're basically just trying to push us out, and we're too stubborn to leave. I think that's where we're at now.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like whack-a-mole, right? It's like, oh, wait, they figured a way around it. Oh, wait, they found another way around it. And then
YouTube compliant magazines. Oh no, they're using that terminology now. Yeah, this is 29 rounds now.
yeah. Well, it's so funny is
just imagine what I did to the suppressor to get it on. Just imagine. I'm not going to show you.
I have an April Fool's Day video that's still out on YouTube, and I caused a lot of problems with that video, because people are like, "This is the dumbest thing in the world. Why would you ever buy this product?" Right? So I did the 80% magazine, right? Because we were doing the 80% guns. I did the 80% magazines. So what I did is I just went down to the local store, bought a composite AR mag, cut it with a bandsaw in half, and took a black it was a black candle, and melted the wax into it, right? And then I took a mill. Yeah, I took my not the mill, the router, and I routed this thing out. You can see the stuff flying out, and people were like, this is the dumbest product in the world. And someone finally caught on, going, you realize it's April Fool's Day, right? Yeah. And they're like, God, people are like, I got taken. I'm surprised that this is still out there, because it's got all the key words that would get you banned in it. it's like 80% high capacity I mean, it's like got all the words in it.
Yeah.
It's still out there.
I remember when the brace band thing, when the ATF was trying to do that, and all of it was when there was like, hey, there's going to be this period where we're going to, give you a chance to change your ways and just turn over your legally owned property for no reason, or incriminate yourself by saying you have this thing or don't have this thing, whatever, even though it's not a crime, even though we're not able to pass laws. And I was like, okay, in my intro, I had a braced AR in a ton of videos that I did. So I had to take down a bunch of stuff. I had to blur the brace out like it's like a naked lady or something. It's like it's a piece of plastic with a strap on it. Like what?
Yeah.
So speaking of pivoting, I had to do a lot of pivoting, and I had a bunch of videos that I was about to do, and this was before the building thing, I think. Where you couldn't even say that word or whatever. Yeah. And I was going to do a build series. I was like, I got all these parts. I'm going to do this build series. I'm like, nope, can't do that now. I was like, oh, okay, I can't do those videos. And I was like, oh, I was going to do this thing with the brace thing. Can't do that anymore. So it was like, all right, well, that was 2 months of content that I just can't do now. And then I also have to go back in all my other videos and either get rid of them, make them private, or so I think what I ended up doing, I just made them private until everything was done, and then I put it back on.
Well, and the thing is it didn't happen to me. I've heard it, I've heard it happening, but this is my brother's, sister's, uncle's, father's roommate in college type of thing. All right, that people have lost their channels by taking videos and putting them private because YouTube can still see them. Right?
Yes. Yeah, thankfully I'm small enough that they didn't notice, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, it just could be one of those, urban legends out there. It's baseball. No, our tech figured out where I got that from.
No, the private videos thing is true because we've got a really good friend of ours that's lost a couple channels. And when he got his second strike, he went in and made everything on his channel private, and YouTube still gave him the third strike on a private video.
Oh, all right. So now I got that's a three away from me. So that's a little closer than the 500 other. No, that's. I mean, you think about it, it's kind of scary. What I thought was funny was a couple of months ago, I found out how to back up my YouTube channel. Because, I mean, if you go into YouTube, you can go in and click download your video. Well, I'm not going to do that to 600 videos, right? But I found it's called Google Checkout, where you can go in and download. They have all your videos there, and you can pull them back down. And what I found was funny is, I have banned videos that got taken down. Go through there. I can still see them. I can still see, they're grayed out. But when I did my Google checkout and downloaded my content, the videos that were banned were still there.
I have an external hard drive that I just have all my videos hosted on too. So if I ever just get nuked on all the platforms, I can just re-upload them all. I have that. To do it.
I have that too. The thing is, the nice about doing the Google checkout is that Google is so nice to compress the video files smaller for you. I do that now, but a lot of my old videos were just freaking huge, and I just didn't feel like going through. Plus, I also had a hard drive failure. So now I've got things on 4 different hard drives. But no, it's good to keep it because of that. Because if you ever get
I've got a 10 terabyte one, so it's not running out of space anytime soon.
Yeah, I just got a 5 terabyte one. Well, I had to get the 5 terabyte one because of the Google checkout. And then I went over to my in-laws because we were on Starlink at the time. So I was going to run my monthly limit in a day, downloading all my YouTube videos. But I needed a 5 terabyte to get all that stuff down. It's funny. I'm seeing a cat walk by the
Yeah.
window, and we don't have a cat.
That's probably why I'm 1080p for most of my videos still, because it's smaller that way.
Yeah, I
Like, my
film
phone will
everything.
record in 4K, but it's not worth it for me.
I fill everything. Yeah, Night Strike's got 30 terabytes. For me, I like to film in 4K mostly because of editing. So if I've got to zoom in post,
Yeah.
I've got it, but I rip everything off to 4K, then I compress it later. When I'm done. Like, so when I do podcast interviews for an hour, when that rips off, and that's just in 1080, when that rips off of in Final Cut Pro, that can be anywhere from 7.5 to 10 gigs, that file. And that's just in 1080. And then I'll take it and I'll run it through Handbrake, and I'll compress it. I'll compress it again. It usually comes out to like 300 meg. Like, all right, that's a little more I can handle that. This is really the this live tonight is twofold. We are now celebrating 24 hours on fiber optic internet here at the house. So why not have a live to have fun with it, to see if it actually works. But yeah, it's so I'm kind of right now I'm sitting there going, I really don't care about my upload times anymore in Fiverr. I have a gig down and a gig up. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, my
that'll
internet's
work.
so bad. I usually will like start the upload before I go to bed, and then when I wake up, it's done.
So, look, guys, we've been rolling about an hour. Chris, you got any final thoughts? I'm going to run you guys through the speed round, which is gonna suck because I got to come up with a whole new set of questions for Nate next week when we interview. But Chris, any final words, man, before we go into the speed round?
No, man, I appreciate you having me on tonight. This is a good conversation, and hopefully people realize what all we got to go through to get these videos uploaded so they can watch them.
Yeah. Nate, any final words before the speed round?
I'm going to quote the minimalist: love people and use things because the opposite never works.
There you go. I love that. All right. So Chris knows what he's getting into. Nate, you have no idea what you're getting into.
Very exciting.
So what you're going to have is it's going to be 4 this or that questions and then 1 thinking question. And since Chris has already had the thinking question, I got to come up with something new. And which means since it's new, I get to ask you next week what the real thinking question is.
Ooh.
So for pistols, let's come up with 2 really bad. All right, here we go. We usually go like 9 and 45. Let's go with 32 Auto or 40 Smith & Wesson.
Oh gosh, do I have to pick one of them?
You have to pick one.
I can't pick neither.
You can't pick neither. You got to pick one. That's why I had to come up with 2 really crappy calibers.
I mean, the only thing I would say, if I had to pick one of the 2, I would go 40 because it would have better stopping power, and it would also be less expensive probably because it'd be slightly easier to find maybe, and also you could buy a gun that you actually want. Like for instance, you could buy like some type of Glock and you could get it in 40, and then you could use that for your training, whatever, and then you could then put the 9mm barrel in it and
and actually convert it over to something you want.
with 9mm. That's kind of logic, but yeah, I haven't. I think actually my very first handgun that I ever bought was an HK USP compact with the stainless steel slide, like Jack Bauer in 24. You know?
Yeah.
And I thought that was super cool, and that was in 40. But that was back when like 40 was the hot caliber. Like that's how old I am. That was like super cool. It's like, oh man, dude, 9mm. Come on, you gotta get 40. That's like where it's at. Come on, guys. And after I sold that, I don't think I I don't think I've had. I think I might had one more. I think I had a Springfield XDM that was in 40, and then that was it. That was the last time I bought a Springfield, and the last time I bought 40.
I bought a 40. All right, Chris, 40 or 32?
I'm going to have to go 40 also. One, I have a Glock 22 that has not had the 40 cal barrel in it for years, but the barrel is somewhere in the gun room. And the other reason would be is I don't think I've seen 32 on the shelves anywhere around here in years. So I can still buy 40 if I need it.
There you go. Yeah, I just had to come up with two crappy calibers. Trust me, I almost went 25 ACP versus 32, but I figured let's do the 40 because I kind of figured it was going to get into a conversion conversation.
I choose rock. I choose a rock.
Choose rock. I choose rock. Let's see here. How about pump action shotgun or break action shotgun?
That's kind of an easy one for me. I'm going to say pump.
I say pump.
Well, because break action, typically a break action, it's 1 to 2 rounds. With a pump, I could have a pump with an extension, and I could have like 10, 13 rounds if I do it right, and I don't care about getting anything on that extension.
C&T's Designs is a little late on this one. He beat Nate. He says paper covers rock.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that. Have you guys seen that German comedian guy? He was in like the second or third Pitch Perfect. Got the German accent. He did a whole thing about the paper and rock thing. He's like, why is that? Why does paper beat rock when it just goes on top of it? Like the rock is fine.
Yeah.
It's like if it was like dynamite rock, okay, it explodes dynamite, but scissor cutting paper, that makes sense. Now the paper is cut in half. What does the paper do to the rock? I rest my case. What were we talking about?
Well, it's Chris's turn to talk about pump versus break action.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with pump. The pump.
Going with pump?
Yeah.
Although it is the cool factor, depending on what you're doing, double barrel side by side, when they pop out.
See, I was thinking coach gun.
It's pretty cool.
See, I was thinking coach gun. Just why not, right? I mean, Wells Fargo. Must be because I live in the West. Let's see here. So that was our second one. Let's see. Third one. Would you rather clean a gun or reload ammo?
That's easy for me because I don't reload ammo. So it'd be clean a gun because I don't know how. I know how to do one of them.
Okay. You know what? Screw it. Let's change it around. Would you rather clean a gun or change oil in your car?
Is it a new car or an old car?
I don't know. I don't know what car you drive.
Can you actually get to the oil pan or the oil filter? Because if it's a new car, the answer is probably no. I'd still say
okay. There you go, Chris.
I'm going with clean a gun. I hate changing oil.
Yeah, I hate changing oil. It's that's like my wife's car. She has a 93 Honda Civic, and the oil filter's on the side of the block. And so here's the oil filter. So the exhaust comes down from the front and then goes straight across. So when you change the oil, if the car's, if she drove, you're burning your arm on the tailpipe coming out. Or if you don't, you're going to leak some oil. So it's just going to burn forever. So yeah, I'd rather clean a gun than change oil, but yeah, it kind of sucks. I don't particularly like either one.
Yeah. Also, is it winter? Because I can clean a gun inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like getting on the ground and getting off the ground anymore.
Let's see here. That was 3. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm like looking around the studio here, just trying to pick something up. All right. AR-10 or AR-15?
I'm going AR-15.
Okay. Caleb?
Caleb said,
He's
"Hey,
thinking.
benchies, go boom." So are you saying for me? Are you asking me?
Yep. AR-10 or AR-15?
All right. So AR-15 because I don't own any 308, but I own a lot of 5.56. So that one's easy for me. And it's kind of like it's America's rifle. I mean,
it's funny. I got to step away to show this. So I work from home, and I discovered this the other day on a phone call. So I've got this scribe that's got a magnetic end, and so I have this ammo from Bernal. And I went, that's interesting. There's obviously some steel in it, right? So I probably don't want to shoot that through my really nice brand new bolt gun that I built. And then I went, okay, well, here's the ammo I have been shooting. That's interesting. And it's Lake City. And that's when I discovered, that's when I found out that military M80 308 rounds have a bimetal jacket. They have steel underneath copper with a lead core. And I went, yeah. Let me rethink that. Good thing I only shot 50 rounds of that through this really nice, expensive rifle that I built. But no, I like 308. I have a bunch of 223s, but I kind of like my 308.
I've thought about doing a 308. I've thought about doing an AR-10. I feel like there's not as much modularity with that platform. Like AR-15 is pretty standardized. There's different. You have the difference between you have two different standards. You have the DPMS pattern versus the Armalite pattern, but really DPMS won, which is so funny since Armalite came up with developed the gun. But yeah, the DPMS there is a little bit of a difference there. You got to watch your upper and your lowers. That's pretty much it. Is your receivers. Everything else is pretty much standardized. I mean, your trigger control group in an AR-10 is the exact same one in a 223 in the AR-15. But yeah, you got some differences in bolt carrier. I mean, everybody's got their own little take on it. So I've been thinking about the thinking question, and since both of you went to SHOT this year, I'm going to make you think back. Now 7 months. Hard to believe it's been 7 months ago that SHOT was. The NSSF called and said, you can take one of anything that was at SHOT Show this year. And it's been cleared by every possible organization in the world that you could take it, whether it's legal or not where you live. What are you going to take home from SHOT Show? This is where I go to my YouTube studio and I look through my videos to see what I checked out. This is where I cheat.
But you may not have filmed the thing you wanted to take home.
Well, and I'm trying to think if there was something that I saw there, but I didn't actually do a booth interview for.
Okay.
Can this be prototypes too? Can this
yes,
be
anything that was at SHOT Show.
Vaporware?
Other than the booth babes or the gun bunnies.
No, I'm
taking one
or two ladies watching the stream. I'm taking. Let's see. Oh gosh, any category. This could even be
anything. Literally,
like a tank as a display, as like a.
Literally, if it was on display at SHOT Show, you could have it.
Hmm. I mean, I feel like it would have to be something full auto to make it worth it, right?
Okay.
I'm sure there was a ton of. Did you either of you guys go to the range day? I didn't go to the range day.
Yep.
Was there full auto at the range day?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Usually at range day, it's so funny when you see some people go, "Oh wait, Bushmaster's here. They brought M4s."
Oh gosh, Chris, do you already know? I'm still thinking.
Yeah, since I can have anything I want, I'm going to go with Ohio Ordnance Works as Saul.
Nice. Yeah. That works.
Oh.
See, Caleb, it comes back to you. Chris didn't help you much on that question, giving
No.
you some time.
Yeah, now I can't take his answer either. That would seem disingenuous. Oh gosh, there's some cool stuff that LTT did. Beretta came out with their mod 2, but I have the mod 1 behind me, so I don't really need another one of those.
I'll tell you what, I'll throw you a little bit of lifeline while you're thinking a little more.
Okay.
I'm going to show you what I want to bring home.
Okay.
The Cadex X145.
That's a big man pajama.
I mean, look at that shell.
Jeez.
And yes, that is bigger than a 50 cal, by the way.
They said it couldn't be done.
Look at that gun.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of would want to get into 2011s or like some type of thing like that. So like the platypus would be cool because you could use Glock mags.
There you go.
Or maybe staccato to see what all the fuss is about. Like if I could get a.
Ooh, did you see
or
that?
like, yeah.
Jesse
Or like the Bull
Harrelson?
Armory, the new Whiz Bang super ported one. Any of those would be kind of cool to check out.
Jesse Harrelson, who used to shoot for Taurus, she announced last week that she was leaving Taurus, and then I saw a post today on Instagram for her. She's at Staccato. Really, I mean, it's so funny that you guys went to the guns. I mean, I went to the gun too, but I mean, you know, there was an MRAP there.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I'm trying to think practical use too, which is boring, but like I don't have the space for that. Like I would just sell it and then I'd have money to do. I guess if I'm like looking to turn a profit, I guess, but I want to keep the thing.
So Night Strike said I was totally overcompensating for that Cadex, and Caleb wanted to know the question about the gun. Does it come with a mount? No, it does not. Yeah, that's what C&T say there. Clint Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's in the chat there.
Wow, I'm honored.
Yeah, no, man, that's the first time with Clint Eastwood. I've had Clint Eastwood. That's awesome. So anyways, guys, man, thank you so much. While we're here, Caleb, how can people find you?
Nate.
Oh,
God,
I'm Nate.
I get Caleb.
You kept saying Caleb, so I kept thinking you were talking about Caleb in the chat.
Yeah, that's because I was looking at Caleb and thinking of you, Nate. Sorry. See, okay. It's a good thing that Chris is here. That way, you know, he can.
Well, there with the C, so I'm like, waiting for Chris to talk.
You're a total dumbass for that one,
Chris. It's okay. You'll get it by the podcast. It'll be fine.
By the podcast, I'll have it right next time. Well, you see that one will be 101 and it won't be live, so it'll be better.
Yeah, we could just like edit that in that one. Hey, I totally know your name. What's up? Yeah. So your favorite libertarian dot. I don't know if I can say the rest, but if you
can say it, because I'm not worried about. Okay.
Yeah, your favorite libertarian.
You got to remember this is going out to other platforms plus the audio, so they can only take it down one place.
Yeah, that like where the Instagram is, our Discord server, all the affiliate stuff and discount codes, the YouTube channel, all that. It's all under the same name. So if you just search your favorite libertarian, I'll come up whether I'm your favorite libertarian or not. That's who will show up in the search.
Awesome. Chris, how can people find you?
About as easy as your favorite libertarian. It's Chris from the 740 on Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, X, YouTube, you name it. So it's pretty easy to find.
All right. Guys, thank you so much, especially since you guys had like 24 hours notice of that we were going to do this. Thank you so much for coming in, because this was going to be a really interesting solo live if you guys didn't, if some people didn't show up. But I do appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you so much. And everybody in the show, that's listening or watching or has been, thank you everybody that showed up in the chat. Make sure you go check these guys out. Make sure you subscribe, because guys, you heard it right here. I had no idea that Nate was even. I almost called you Caleb again too. I had no idea that Nate even existed. It was just because of dumb luck when we were on a Discord channel together that I ran into him. So make sure you guys are out there and checking out these channels, because man, these guys have got some great content, and I think you're going to like it too. Oh, see, look, we end, and look who shows up.
Hey, how's it going?
Well.
Night Strike shows up right in the outro.
I just got home. I told you that what was going on, and I kept you in the loop too.
Yeah. So,
but I was out there showing moral support.
I know. So, guys, should we sing "Happy Birthday" to Night Strike?
I think we should. Yeah,
You don't have to.
I'm down.
Gordon, you up for it, Chris? Come on, it's the end of the show.
All right.
Chris says no. All right, so
Thank you.
he's just laughing. He's like, I can't believe he's actually going to do this. All right,
Ready?
you ready?
Yep.
No.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday,
Night
dear Night Strike.
Right. Happy birthday to you.
I gotta tell you, that libertarian has a good set of lungs.
I know, doesn't he though?
Yeah.
I was actually a music major in college. Fun fact.
It sounds like it.
So
Totally
now
unrelated
that
to what I do now, but that's college for you kids.
Yeah.
now that we completely ran this podcast into the ground, everybody, man, stay safe out there. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.